I often get asked the strategies I use during an eating contest. Well, here's one that just took place, and I'll step you through it as we go along, and maybe some of these strategies will help you out in your contest. We were allowed to pick which table we wanted to eat from. I selected one where I could see all the other eaters from, but for most people, I would recommend the table closest to where the food's coming from. This way, if you need a refill, you're sure to get it first, and you never have to wait for food.
I got 15 to 25. 3, 5.8.
As an experienced competitive eater, once I know the weight of the meatballs, I can pretty accurately guess what it's going to take for me to win this contest. You, however, should be paying attention to the rules that he's announcing right now to make sure there's not a unique rule to this contest that might throw you off or get you disqualified.
If you are going to break up the meatballs, you must do it on your empty plate. If you want to eat them directly, you can. All right, 10-second warning. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go!
Sean next to me had just taken a sip of water right before the contest started, and it helps to lubricate your mouth so that first bit of food goes down very quickly. I'm just worried about doing my own thing at this point, trying to get into a good rhythm, get these meatballs down, and if I do what I'm supposed to do, I should have a good lead by the end of this first plate. I added a meatball counter so you could see where I stood versus Sean, and I'll only change the numbers once the next meatball's up at our mouth. You can see that I'm focused on the meatballs. I'm not looking around at any of my competitors. This early in the contest, there's absolutely nothing to be gained by seeing where they are versus where you are. It's just best to stay focused on doing your task at hand and not worrying about anyone else.
All right, let's see it. We got some questioning their choices from the whole week that have now gotten them to here.
As I'm approaching the end of my first plate, I glance around to see where the refills are going to be coming from to make sure that there's never a time I don't have meatballs in front of me. If I don't see someone, I need to signal them at this point and let them know that I'm running low on meatballs. In this particular contest, there were zero issues with refills. They were on top of everything, and no one was ever without food.
All right, let's hear it for our contestants.
At this point, I think I have pretty good control of the contest. I'm eating at a quick pace, but definitely far from as quick as I can eat. If I was trying to actually speed eat these meatballs, I would be standing up for sure. It's much quicker to eat standing up, especially at my size, and I would not have the cup that far away from me. That cup of water would be held high in the air near my mouth, so I could just have to move it a couple inches to get a sip to get the food down. Right now, I'm putting it back down the table every time, kind of just eating at a nice, relaxed pace. So my advice to you is to eat standing up. It opens up your stomach cavity so you can get the food down quicker. Eat with only one hand on the food, not two hands. I don't see a benefit for putting two hands in the food because your second hand should be holding your drinking cup, whatever you're drinking, water, iced tea, whatever you have. That allows you to quickly get help flush the meatball down. At this point, I could see I was a full tray ahead of second place, and I don't feel a need in an eating contest to push yourself, especially advice for new people. The goal is to win the contest, so you don't want to do anything that's going to prevent you from winning. And then it turns out, had I been speed eating, I would have had a huge issue on this tray. I'm the only eater on their second refill, and these were taken out of the warmer, and these things were hot. I mean, really hot. So I burned my tongue at that point. I tried to cut the meatball open to try to cool it off a little bit, take a break. But even when I went back to that meatball, I burned my tongue again. I end up having to dunk part of that meatball in the water, which is unheard of. You don't usually dunk meat in liquids. But I had to cool that meatball off somehow because that was hot. If I wasn't just eating to win, I'm pretty sure I would have lost the contest at this point. Speed eating these meatballs, I definitely would have brought those meatballs back up and been immediately disqualified. Just was not expecting, after doing the first two plates at one temperature, these meatballs are so hot, to get that much hotter on this third plate. That is why my advice to you is make sure you're always eating to win the contest. There's no point of eating more than you have to because you never know what's going to happen on the next plate or the next item. I see Sean is now on the same tray I am. I figure at this point, if I just get into another tray, it should be enough to get the win. And hopefully this next tray is cooler.
1 minute remaining. All right, they are going hard at these meatballs. Bob's gonna get a reload here. This is gonna be the third reload.
Yes.
All right.
Here's a move I like to do to keep my competitors guessing how much I've eaten so far in the contest. Instead of moving my empty tray out of the way and moving my new tray towards me, I just get a meatball out of the new tray. And sometimes you can get lucky because your competitor won't know exactly which tray you're on. You can use that to your advantage. Sean has really eaten a lot up to this point. I'm not exactly sure what meatball he's on, but he does not have another tray in front of him. So at this point, it's really hard for him to catch up to me because he doesn't have the meatballs.
Everybody's still going pretty hard at this?
At this point, I'm just monitoring the situation and making sure I still have my lead and there's no chance of me losing it. I want to congratulate Sean for getting through his second refill so quickly. He told me afterwards that he did burn his mouth eating them.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands in the air. All right, let's hear it for our contestants. Our official judges will be coming around and getting a count, and we will announce the winners here in a moment. All right, now for our winners. Coming in first place with an impressive 22 meatballs.
Yes, I did that one actually.
Bob. Yeah.
I did it with Michael.
Now, Bob, did you weigh them in the beginning?
Yes.
Thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you got something out of all the tips I provided, at least why I do the things I do during a contest. Most importantly, it's just to have fun and enjoy yourself. I want to thank Meatball U for hosting the contest. Congratulations on celebrating your 1-year anniversary of being open. And I look forward to coming back next year and defending my meatball eating title. Thanks for watching another video, and I'll see you guys again soon.